Hey guys, Rich here with Brotherhood Reviews, and we're back talking about She-Hulk, the finale. And this episode was hilarious. They dragged her breaking the fifth wall a little too much, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Overall, I love this episode, and I'm going to give you my breakdown, and also at the end, if you stay for that long, I will be telling you what we actually got from this series, because I know a lot of people think that this series didn't give us any real information, and that is not ultimately true. Now let's get to it, because you guys came here for the breakdown. Now, She-Hulk, the finale, episode 9. This one starts off with She-Hulk in prison, just how they had Emil Blonsky, and the only way she was able to pretty much would have been able to leave jail is if she had an inhibitor put on her, and she would have never been able to turn into She-Hulk again. Now, she was having a hard time cope with that. She lost her job. No firm wanted to hire her after this, especially after all the information that came out, plus her hulking out. Nobody wanted to deal with that. So she had to move back in with her parents. Her parents are her parents. You know how it is. So she decides to go see Emil because at his resort he hasn't been answering her, and she needed somebody that was in her situation to talk to. She ends up going there. He's not anywhere to be found at the. Jen finds out that the intelligentsia is meeting up at Blonsky's place because she is there trying to talk to him about her situation. Now, also her friend, who was her secretary, and I think his name's Mark, the guy that was really into shoes, were infiltrating that to get more information to clear Jen's name. And turns out they all see each other there. A big fight breaks out. The Incredible Hulk comes out of nowhere, starts fighting Blonsky. Then Todd, we find out he's the creator of Intelligentsia, and he gets Hulk powers. And then She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall and pretty much exits that out. Like I said, this part they dragged out a little bit, but I still find it funny, and I love it when series or concepts have been going on for so long that they do like gags like this. They pretty much had her talk to the writers and then confront Kevin, which is this AI motorized screen projector thing that was talking to her about, he crafts the perfect MCU movies and he has a near flawless record. And she says, oh well, this is her show and it needs to be different. So they change it up a little bit. She makes suggestions, and so Blonsky goes to jail for 10 years. Todd doesn't become a Hulk, and he ends up going to jail. Her name gets cleared. Daredevil comes back, who has nothing to really do with anything, but I really enjoyed how it just like she broke the fourth wall, and she was like, okay, because a lot of people were talking about there being a big battle at the end, and which this really didn't need one. Even Titania showed up out of nowhere at the end. For what? Nothing. And it just proved that, like, yeah, we don't need to have a big ending anytime, but they wanted this to be like a more goofier law show than you would see on an average television. Now, there's more. I feel like there's more to this than people are thinking, are seeing, because yeah, she broke the fourth wall. They did go a little too far with her going into walking through all the studios, all the sets, going and talking to the writers, and just Kevin, like I low-key thought it was Kevin Feige that she was going to talk to, but when it was this machine and they were going back and forth about it, and I was like, okay, this is hilarious. And they kind of trolled all the people that were saying like, oh, all the MCU shows are just the movies in show format. It's always set up, big fight at the end. And She-Hulk was poking fun at that, like, it doesn't always have to be a big fight at the end. Like, this could just, resolve itself. Everybody goes to jail. Nobody has to be put, nobody has to fight, and it can end like that. And, I think it was just a funny way of the creators to have fun with, like, okay, like, we hear you guys, we hear what you guys are saying, like, enough is enough. You want a little bit more change when it comes to the next coming up MCU stuff, and we're going to do our best to do it, and I just think a lot of people are going to look at this as like, oh, this sucks, they just took too long to get to the point, oh, they're just addressing things. But it's them poking fun at us like we're on the internet poking fun at them. So I really enjoyed that. Now we get the post credit scene with obviously the Hulk is back, and he introduces everybody to his son Scar. I do like his son Scar aesthetic, how he looks and everything. I do want to know why he doesn't look like a deranged psychopath. So we'll probably just have to wait until World War Hulk or whatever they're calling it. They might change the name of it to see what's up with that, and I don't think that's until like 2025, so we got some time for that. Now, the biggest thing about She-Hulk everybody has to realize and understand, She-Hulk was meant to introduce us to more superpowered beings, and to explain that, like, there are powered individuals, but they are obviously in hiding for the simple fact that they're powered individuals. But now the fact that the blip snap, whatever you want to call it, happened, everybody came back. The Avengers are a thing. People with powers are being praised instead of feared. Obviously, within the time of the blip and now, more people who have powers or have developed powers would be more reluctant to come out of hiding and show themselves, especially if they don't have any physical transformations like Titania. I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we saw Titania and Mr. Immortal of all people, because those two people are two people that don't have any physical changes. Like, even though we were mentioned Wolverine, we never saw Wolverine because he has metal claws. It was mentioned that a man with metal claws gets into a bar fight, but there was no pictures or anything taken because, obviously they don't have a main MCU Wolverine yet. But still, that's not even the point. That's not this video. But I feel like it's easier to take characters that don't have any physical changes and two characters that aren't going to mean anything and just bring them out and be like, yeah, these are two powered individuals that are known now in the MCU, walking around powered, like, and Titania makes money off of her powers. So obviously there might be a couple more people out there that could possibly be making money off theirs. So I think that's what really She-Hulk's main core show was about, was to show us what and how will show us what people are doing with their powers, if they do have powers. And obviously more people are going to be in hiding of fear of what could happen if they don't have strong enough powers to defend themselves. But that's my thoughts on the finale. I really enjoyed it. I really loved seeing a lot of YouTubers and post about how many people just dislike what they did, but I thought it was hilarious. But I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and hope you have a good day, time, night, whenever you guys are listening to this. Thank you.